Adopt me, human. I only wanted a father. Until he finally said yes. Rain fell in soft sheets over the colony outpost, streaking the windows with silver lines that caught the pale glow of the moons. Captain Elias Ward leaned against the metal frame of the viewing deck, sipping bitter coffee that had long gone cold. He wasn't the kind of man to welcome company. After the war, after losing too much, solitude had been his only true companion. But solitude ended that night. A small voice cut through the hum of the storm. Human, will you adopt me? Elias turned, startled, and there she was again. She had lingered around the docks for days, a fragile, fox-eared child no taller than his chest. Her furred tail flicked nervously, golden eyes wide, filled with a longing he didn't fully understand. She wasn't human. That much was clear. Vulpine, one of the orphaned races left scattered after the war tore through countless worlds. He had ignored her before, told himself she would move on, that someone else would take her in. Yet she returned, each time braver than before. Go home, Elias muttered, setting his cup down with a thud. I don't have one, she whispered. But if you said yes, maybe I would. The next day, she followed him again through the markets, across the hangar bays, to the edge of his ship, the worn freighter he flew with stubborn pride. Workers chuckled, whispering that the hardened war captain had gained a shadow. Elias finally spun on her, voice sharp. Why me? Why not someone else? Her ears flattened. Because you look like someone who lost something too. The words lodged in his chest like shrapnel. He should have sent her away, walked to his ship, and left her to fate. But when he saw her small hands clutching the strap of a ragged satchel, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears, something inside him cracked. Still, he couldn't let her in. Not yet. Nights stretched long. Elias tried to bury himself in work, repairing panels, checking star maps, trading cargo, but she always appeared, curled near the hangar doors or perched on a crate, waiting. One evening, he found her asleep against his ship's landing strut, rain dripping down her hair. He sighed, crouched, and lifted her carefully. She was lighter than expected, like carrying nothing more than air against his better judgment. He carried her inside. When she woke, she blinked up at him from the cot. You didn't leave me outside. Don't get used to it, Elias muttered, though his hand lingered too long as he pulled the blanket around her. She smiled, a tiny, fragile thing. Thank you, Father. The word sent a shiver through him. He almost corrected her, but he didn't. Days blurred into weeks. He told himself she was only there until he found a proper family for her, yet slowly she became part of his world. She darted between the freighter's corridors, her laughter echoing like music he'd forgotten. She insisted on helping with repairs, her small fingers surprisingly nimble with tools. She hummed old lullabies of her people when the ship drifted silently between stars. Sometimes at night, when she thought he was asleep, she whispered to the stars, "Please don't let him leave me. Please don't let him change his mind." Elias heard every word, and each time his heart clenched tighter. The breaking point came on a routine cargo run. Pirates cornered them in the asteroid belt, ships bristling with weapons. Elias fought like the soldier he once was, weaving through rocks, firing thrusters, returning blasts with precise aim. But when a stray shot ripped through the hull and the girl screamed, he felt terror unlike any he'd known, not even in war. He fought harder, only for her. When the danger passed, smoke hissing through corridors, he found her clutching a support beam, eyes wide but unharmed. He dropped his knees, hands shaking as he checked her. She pressed a small hand to his cheek. "You came back for me," she whispered. Something inside him gave way. That night, after the ship was patched and stars drifted quietly outside the viewport, Elias sat across from her. She watched him with golden eyes, searching, hoping, afraid. He took a deep breath, voice soft but steady. "I can't promise I'll be perfect. I can't promise I won't fail sometimes. But I can promise this. I won't leave you. Not anymore." Her ears perked, her tail stilled. "You mean?" He nodded. The word felt heavy but right. "Yes. I'll be your father." She launched into his arms before he could brace himself, sobbing into his chest, her small frame shaking with relief. He held her tightly, calloused hands cradling her like something precious, because she was. Weeks later, the outpost workers no longer called her his shadow. She was simply his daughter. Together, they charted courses to forgotten worlds, shared meals beneath strange constellations, and built a home from the endless dark between stars. And sometimes, when she drifted to sleep beside him, hand curled around his, Elias whispered the words he had long feared to say. "You gave me back something I thought was gone. You gave me family." In the silence of space, beneath twin moons, father and daughter finally belonged. Elias had never believed in destiny. War had beaten it out of him, teaching that the universe was chaos, that loss was inevitable, and nothing lasted. But as he sat in the cockpit, the girl curled in the co-pilot's chair with her tail wrapped around her knees, he realized destiny wasn't always grand. Sometimes destiny was a small voice asking for a father. Her soft breathing filled the silence. She had fallen asleep mid-sentence, a half-eaten ration bar resting on her lap. Elias adjusted the course, eyes flicking to her, and for the first time in years, a genuine smile tugged at his lips. He thought back to that first night she begged him to adopt her. How easy it would have been to say no, to push her away, to bury himself in familiar loneliness. But if he had, he wouldn't have discovered the one thing the war couldn't take from him: the ability to love again. Carefully, he rose, draped a blanket over her, and whispered, "Sleep well, daughter." The word no longer felt foreign. It felt right, steady, alive. As the freighter drifted into uncharted dark, Elias finally understood. Family wasn't bound by blood or species. Family was a promise kept, a hand held, a heart brave enough to say yes. For the first time in a long, weary life, Elias Ward wasn't a captain without a cause. He was a father with a daughter who had chosen him, and together they were no longer lost. They were home.